So, you guys ever notice how anime has this uncanny ability to tackle deep, relatable issues? I mean, sure, they've got mechs, magic, and monsters, but they're also not afraid to dive into the ocean of feels. Oh man, you know all those feelings? What a time that was. I've sadly dove too long into that ocean, and I became as numb as people who didn't cry when they saw Nina and Alexander fused. Alright, enough of this. So, today, we're putting on our emotional scuba gear, and we're taking a deep dive into the sea of loneliness in anime. Is that one thing that's as common as the power of friendship in shonen series, but yet, it's like that shy kid in the back of the class. You know he's there, but no one really talks about him. Now, loneliness in anime is like a multi-layered dipping sauce, but all that's left are the beans and the sour cream. Yeah, it's bad. In other words, it has two main dimensions, emotional and social. The emotional part pertains to the absence of close or intimate emotional relationships. It can be relations with your loved ones, like family members, or it can be with people you share parts of your lives with, for example, friends. On the other hand, the social dimension of loneliness concerns a broader social network. It has more to do with the relationships you have than what they bring you in life. The best examples we have for this in anime are Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke is the perfect example to emotional loneliness. He has no emotional relations to anyone in his life. Well, I mean, it makes sense. There's no one left for him, so it doesn't help. And also, he witnessed his brother kill his whole family and son. So he's as numb as it gets on that regard. Also, let's not forget that all his emotions took a one-way trip to fuck this shit on Outland when he was about 6. The other side of that same medal is Naruto. It is obvious that he is the personification of social loneliness. He's been socially shunned since his birth, and no matter how hard he tried, no one really cared. He has no relations to anyone. And although he tries to build relations, he's just unable to do so. I mean, at least for the beginning of the series. If we dig deeper and get to the psychological aspect of loneliness, we quickly realize that research gets too deep, and it becomes impossible to understand. It's like using a Sharingan to explore the Tsukiyomi of our emotions. Loneliness can lead to a complex mix of feelings, making you sadder than when you watch Your Lie in April for the first time. It digs deep in the emotional section of your brain and plays with them to make us feel all kinds of ways. Those feelings can range from sadness to something more intense, like depression. Loneliness is nothing to bat an eye at. It can have profound emotional and physical health implications. I'm talking chronic stress and long-term sleeping problems, and sometimes even worse. But it's not just about tugging at your heartstrings. Loneliness plays mind games too. Negative self-perception and rumination become your daily regiment. You're basically doing mental gymnastics that even the cast of Death Parade would find impressive. You're like a student completing their PhD, but instead of analyzing documents for your research, you're obsessively analyzing your own thoughts. Now, in anime, characters don't just sit in a corner, moping about loneliness. They've got more coping mechanism than you can shake a Super Saiyan stick at. Some follow the Naruto route and actively pursue companionship, while others try to better themselves and become a beacon of hope for others like them. They are out there, seeking to form new bonds or solidifying the existing ones. And just like anyone else, they long for friendship and acceptance. It's like they're on a quest for friendship, giving us hope that even if you don't belong anywhere yet, proactive steps can eventually lead to meaningful connections. Then there are those who tackle their loneliness by diving headfirst into fulfilling hobbies and passions. You'll find characters engaging in art, music, or writing fanfics more exciting than you can imagine. They will drive themselves mad with a sport or a musical instrument to fill the emptiness in their hearts. Personal interests become very important when dealing with loneliness. They are like a window out of the dark, cold, and gloomy room where your heart is imprisoned when you feel lonely. And if that's not enough, in some extreme cases, some folks create imaginary friendships or bond with supernatural beings. I'm not talking about ghosts or anything like that. It can simply be a favorite character from an anime or an imaginary creation. You can see this as someone hosting their own Monogatari episode in their head, but without the oddity hunting, of course. These portrayals emphasize the power of imagination and the human capacity to overcome isolation. I mean, you take whatever works for you at that point, right? And in the world of anime, loneliness often pops up in the form of characters who struggle to connect with their communities, experiencing a sense of alienation. These portrayals reflect real-world issues of decreased social cohesion, and they're like a wake-up call to the potential consequences of widespread loneliness. It's as if the social dynamics in depressing anime series are played out in real life. The physical and health-related aspects of loneliness may manifest in anime as characters dealing with health problems or deteriorating physical conditions. They could be the strongest fighters that have ever lived, never lost a fight in their life, and yet the result of their loneliness hits hard and aren't pretty. It's a reminder that even the toughest characters can't escape the effects of isolation. Even though it speaks more to the Japanese culture and its struggle with isolation, the impact of loneliness in anime truly transcends cultural boundaries. Just as My Hero Academia explores the intricacies of quirks and heroism, anime delves into the complexities of loneliness and its intricate interactions with desires, relationships, and human connections. Anime doesn't just entertain us, it also connects us on a deeper level, reminding us that we're not alone in our struggles, and that's a powerful message that transcends the boundaries of the screen. That's all for me, guys. If you enjoyed this one, please leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to share your thought on the video in the comments. As always, stay positive and see you on the next one.